Okay, next lesson. Now, finding the derivative with that big long limit thing is all well and good, but that takes forever. So, we do have some shortcuts. Here are your first 4 derivative rules. These will absolutely want to be memorized, and I promise you'll use them enough, you will memorize them. So, your first 4 rules, the power rule. If you want to take the derivative of something to a number power, you move the number in front and then subtract the top by 1. Your constant rule, if I take the derivative of any constant or any number, it's 0. Your scalar multiplication rule, if I have a number in front of an equation, that number just gets moved out in front of the derivative. And then I have my sum rule. If I want to take the derivative of an equation plus an equation, then I can take the derivative of each separately. By the way, I kind of just skipped over, but this means take the derivative with respect to x. Also written like that. So, let's start to use our shortcuts. If I have x to the 4th, that's my power rule. So f prime of x, I'm going to move the number in front, and then I'm going to do the number minus 1. So that gives me 4x cubed. So f prime of x is 4x cubed. Done. Way shorter. Let's try this one. So I'm going to take the derivative of the first one, put the number in front, and then take the exponent, do the number minus 1. And I want to take the derivative of this constant, because they're adding, so I can take the derivative separately. Well, if I take the derivative of a constant, that's my constant rule. It's going to be 0. So now I can simplify this. Negative 2/3 x, negative 2/3 minus 1 is going to be negative 5/3. And I don't need my plus 0. So that tells me that y prime is going to be that. Way easier. Okay, let's try this one. The derivative of this constant is 0. Now, this right here, I'm going to manipulate a little bit. I'm going to do 1/2 times 1 over t cubed. So bring that 1/2 in front. And if you remember, we have a rule that says if I have an exponent in the denominator, I can bring it up to the numerator. I just have to change the sign of the exponent. So 1 over t cubed would be t to the negative 3 over 1. Take the reciprocal, change the sign on the exponent. So that's what I'm going to do here. And the reason being is because, so first off, that constant, that's just stays separate. That's your scalar multiplication rule. So that constant I'm just going to leave out. Then I'm going to take the derivative of this. Same rule. The number goes out in front. And then in the exponent, I do the number minus 1. So I can simplify this, multiply those. I would get a positive 3/2 t to the negative 4 would be my h prime of t. Okay. Last one, I'm going to manipulate it a little bit again. So I'm going to actually cube everything in there. So then I get 8x cubed. Then I'm going to do the same thing I did here. So I'm going to bring the 5/8 out, make it separate. And then I'm going to bring that denominator up and change the exponent to a negative. And now I can take the derivative. That 5/8 is a scalar multiplication, so it stays separate. The number goes out in front, and then I do the number minus 1. So that would give me negative 15/8 x to the negative 4. And I can leave it like that. So that's a quick overview of the first 4 derivative rules that we're learning. In the next video, we'll talk about higher order derivatives, meaning taking the derivative more than once.